People are always looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, like winning the lottery or somehow gaming the system to earn money with absolutely no effort. Well, unless you stumble onto the filming of YouTuber Mr. Beast's next video, the odds really aren't in your favor.
Dead serious. Last one of you to take your hand off this $1 million stack of cash keeps it.
But don't worry, because that's what we're here for today. I'm Jonathan, and we're talking a realistic path to $1 million in today's edition of Constant Cash Flow. Spoiler alert, it still takes dedication, but the good news is that it's very much achievable. I want to give a quick shout out to Gavin Incorp and Harvey B., two recent subscribers. Thanks for watching and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. And make sure to stick around for some bonuses toward the end of the video that can really help you get a jump start on having that $1 million in the bag.
America's ready. I'm ready.
Let's dig right in. Now, this video isn't about making $1 million for the sake of making $1 million. It's about something much more valuable, your time. It's about freedom of choice, reaching a point where you can make a decision to retire early or pursue that business you always wanted to, or to continue doing what you're already doing if you love it, but without the fear of losing your job or where your next paycheck might come from if you do.
You're stressed.
You're stressed.
Becoming a millionaire takes hard work, dedication, and consistent purpose-driven action. It's not about the end goal, it's about the journey that takes you there. These consistent, purposeful actions that you take each and every day compound over time, creating a force that once in motion is much easier to keep moving, and eventually the effort that you're putting out isn't really even an effort at all.
Yes, it is a nice change of pace.
All too often, even smart, focused people can get distracted looking for a shortcut or the fast path. We all know or have seen someone that looks like they made it with very little effort, and we want to know what their secret is. We want the inside track on the next Apple or Amazon or Tesla. People want magic. They want to make it or touch it, but what most people don't necessarily have is the drive or determination to work hard for it. But chances are, if you're watching this video, you're one of the people that do.
You think you know me so well.
And since you're one of those people that knows deep down that you're going to make it, let's talk about the path that'll get you there. Because for you and me, anything else is not acceptable. That brings us to tip number 1 of 4. You can only get there if you believe it. You can only get there if you're an optimist. And no, I'm not talking about sitting in a corner and repeating affirmations to yourself about how you're going to become a millionaire someday. Hey, if that helps you, by all means do it. But what I'm talking about here is a little bit different. Someone that truly believes they will attain any goal does one thing without fail. They plan for it. They understand that an end goal of any significance is only achieved through focus and effort. They talk about their goals to their loved ones, and they know if they do that, the sky's the limit. If you don't have your mind right or think it's possible, if you don't have a positive attitude and the courage to take action, you're going to continue to do what you've always done. And yes, you know the rest. You're going to continue to get the result you've always gotten. Tip number 2, break it down to realistic goals by year. The obvious way to get there is to say that you're going to save $100,000 per year for 10 years or $50,000 a year for 20 years. But let's be honest, it's not realistic unless you're making a very large salary with very little expenses.
What am I made of money?
And unrealistic goals are probably going to lead you to lose all motivation before you even get started. So let's create a path that sounds and feels more believable, one you can actually achieve. We can do this by starting small and weighing our income to the latter portions of our savings time. This gives us time to get used to savings, to find more ways to earn income, and to get more creative with our savings. Instead of saving $50,000 or $100,000 per year, your initial goal could be $500 or $100 per month. Those numbers seem much more manageable and will still get you where you need to be. We'll take a look at some details in different scenarios in just a minute. Tip number 3 is to increase your income. Earn more money. Excellent tip, Jonathan. I never thought of that one for myself. I know. But hear me out on this one because there's a lot more to it than the obvious, and there's more than one way to get there. There's actually several ways to achieve this, and the first may be the quickest. That's to increase your current wage at your current job. If you haven't received a raise in a while, it could be as simple as asking. In today's job market, employees are at a premium, and good employees are at an even higher one. Have an honest and open conversation, and you might be surprised at the results. The second way is, of course, to look for a different, better paying job. As I said before, it's a job seeker's market right now, and many companies are paying more to recruit top talent. In your current job, you may only earn 2 to 3% raises each year at best, and that just may not be enough to move the needle to where you want it to be. But getting a new job might be a way for you to earn significantly more. The next way to earn more money is simply to side hustle. Find something you can do with your extra hours, at least until you can increase your income enough through your primary sources. Now, if your primary income is sufficient and you just need to plan your finances a little better, what are you waiting for? Do that. That's also an increase.
Just think outside the box here.
And the last way to earn more money is to build passive income streams. Now, passive income isn't earning money while you sleep. It's earning money over and over again for work you did once. And anyone that watches my channel knows that I believe investing is one of the best ways to do that, which brings us to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is investing early and often. I've already alluded to the power of compounding, and I'm not going to talk about the specifics of it here, but if you want to know more, you can check out my video on the dividend snowball effect. I'll link it in the description below as well. What I will do is emphasize that the earlier you learn about investing and put what you've learned into action, the easier it'll be to reach your end goal. If you get started in your 20s and you have your sights set on a number higher than $1 million, even that is well within your reach. Let's take a look at the numbers. For simplicity's sake, let's say you were going to invest in an ETF like VOO. VOO is a low-cost exchange-traded fund that tracks the performance of the S&P 500. Its top holdings are Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Google, and Meta. Maybe you've heard of them?
Sweet, I know those guys.
The S&P 500 has averaged a 9.8% rate of return over the last 90 years. If you started investing at age 20 in the VOO ETF and invested only $500 per month, you would reach your $1 million goal in 30 years by the age of 50. You could retire 17 years ahead of the curve with only a $500 monthly investment. You'd save $180,000 yourself over that time, but the power of compounding interest would turn that into $1,083,000. There is that magic you've been looking for. If you decided to increase your savings over time like we discussed before and wanted to keep up with average inflation, you'd increase your savings by 3% each year. So in year 1, you're saving $500 per month. In year 2, you would increase that savings to $515 per month, and so on. By age 47, you'd be investing just over $1,110 per month and would have achieved millionaire status 3 years earlier. Your total save would be $162,000 and your portfolio would be worth $1,017,000. Now, everyone's situation is different, so let's say you were able to make an initial investment of $5,000 and you were able to save $1,000 per month, along with increasing your savings by 3% each year. You would reach millionaire status by age 41 with a cool $1.06 million in your portfolio. And if you decided your number was $2 million instead, you'd still hit that by age 47 with this path. And then with the other extreme, let's say you only have a very small amount to invest. You start right out of high school, 18 years old, investing $100 per month and increasing it by 3% each year. You would still reach millionaire status at age 61 on only $100 per month starting out. If you're not investing yet, this should be enough to push you to start. And if you have kids, to educate them on the wisdom behind it. Now it's bonus time. First, I'll drop a link to download this exact spreadsheet in the description below so you can play around with your actual age and savings to help plan your path forward. Second, we still have one bonus tip in the bag up next, so hang out for these last few minutes. And if this video helped you in any way or you appreciate the download, help a small channel out with a like and subscribe, and that'll let me know if I'm on the right track with the content you guys want to see. Now on to bonus tip number 5. Take risks when you're young. When you're young, 20 or so, you're more likely to have no dependents, and for sure you have more time to recover if you take a risk that just doesn't pan out. On the other hand, if that risk pays off, you can be set for life much earlier. Your 20s or even your early 30s are the time to take those risks. Invest aggressively, start a new business, take a new job opportunity, even move halfway across the world at a moment's notice if something exciting or lucrative presents itself. If you don't take risks when you're young, you're very unlikely to do so when you're older. And honestly, they call it a risk for a reason. When you're older and have less time to recover, it just doesn't always make sense. Too often, people stay in a lower paying job because it's easy or comfortable, or it's in a place where they've always lived. They miss out on life experiences then, and also the opportunity for greater things in years to come. If you feel like it's time to move on, then move on. If you feel like it's time to invest in that index fund and grow your savings, do it. If you have that itch to start a business and see where it goes, scratch it. Take risks. Trust your heart and instincts. Follow your passions, and the money will follow. Of course, I can't guarantee your exact level of success, but what I can promise you is that if you continue to do the same thing you've always done, again, you can expect a different result. And the only thing worse than failure is regret. I've quoted this before in another video, but it really resonates with me. Hockey great Wayne Gretzky once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." So take your shot and see if it finds its way to the back of the net. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch the entire video. I hope it provided some valuable information for you and helped you on your quest for financial freedom. As always, please do your own research before making any investments to see if it's a good fit for you, your goals, and your personal risk tolerance. Keep an eye out for my next video coming out in just a few days that looks at the current top-yielding monthly dividend ETFs. Let me know in the comments what you thought about today's video and what you'd like to see discussed in future videos. On the right, you can find more great videos to help you on your journey to constant cash flow. I hope you enjoyed today's video. See you next time.